This week on Environmental Prose, we will be georeferencing a historical aerial photograph. Historical aerial photographs can be powerful tools for environmental site assessments and are tremendously effective for identifying abandoned sites, determining usage trends, and defining when events began to impact a property. We'll start by making sure that we are using the proper coordinate system and map projection. In this case, we're using the UTM NAD 1983 projected coordinate system. Now we'll go ahead and add the raster data set we want to align with our projected data, which is a 1952 historical aerial photo. Select Yes when prompted to build pyramids. Pyramids are reduced resolution representations of your data set used to improve performance. Let's go ahead and move our image above the 1995 USGS Travis County mosaic. Whatever you're georeferencing, you'll want to have an approximate scale set and area location designated before clicking the georeferencing toolbar and selecting Fit to Display. Now we'll select the magnification tool to use for zooming in and out for when we begin to add control points. Click the Add Control Points icon on the georeferencing toolbar. We'll use this 90-degree right angle here, which lies next to a prominent thoroughfare for our identifying land feature. Control points are locations that can be accurately identified on the raster dataset and in real-world coordinates. Many different types of features can be used as identifiable locations, such as road or stream intersections, the mouth of a stream, rock outcrops, the end of a jetty piece of land, the corner of an established field, and street corners. The number of links you need to create depends on the complexity of the transformation you plan to use to transform the raster dataset to map coordinates. However, adding more links will not necessarily yield a better registration. If possible, you should spread the links over the entire raster dataset rather than concentrating them in one area. Typically, having at least one link near each corner of the raster dataset and a few throughout the interior produces the best results. When you georeference your raster dataset, you define its location using map coordinates and assign the coordinate system of the data frame. Georeferencing raster data allows it to be viewed, queried, and analyzed with other geographic data. While we continue on adding control points, let's go ahead and take a more in-depth look at why our image was earlier referred to as a raster dataset. Raster data is commonly obtained by scanning maps or collecting aerial photographs and satellite images. Scan map datasets don't normally contain spatial reference information, either embedded in the file or as a separate file. With aerial photography and satellite imagery, sometimes the location information delivered with them is inadequate, and the data does not align properly with other data that you have. Thus, to use some raster datasets in conjunction with your spatial data, you may need to align or georeference them to a map coordinate system, which is precisely what we are doing right now. Let's go ahead and finish up our georeferencing here and add these final two control points. Roadways and intersections prove reliable as easily identifiable landmarks. Alrighty, seems to be coming together nicely. Now let's move on down to the southern portion of the frame. We can see the Capitol building. It's good to find a recognizable landmark. It'll help you get your bearing, and then from that point you can ascertain what you feel to be the best landmark to place your control point on. We went with another road. Alrighty, looks pretty good. Good to zoom in and out here and turn the layer off and on to see how it overlays, how the frame overlays on the base map layer. And one more thing we can do to see how accurately this frame is aligned is by opening up the link table, and you can do that by clicking on the View Link Table icon on the Georeferencing toolbar. And as you see the table here, scroll over to the right-hand side in this last column right here. When these numbers are less than double digits, it's generally a good sign, lined up fairly accurately. Now we can go ahead and update georeferencing.